talk about the New York Giants. This team is having a very good offseason, in my opinion. First, they went off and they extended Daniel Jones long term, which a lot of people can scratch their head and they can say that's a huge risk that they're taking because you're going with a quarterback that's coming off a very good year, but he's never played like this before in his career. You also franchise tag Saquon Barkley, which I love and I'm going to dig deeper into in this video. They got Darren Waller and a major trade with the Las Vegas Raiders for a third-round pick, which is good value for this team. And they also signed Bobby Okereke, linebacker from the Indianapolis Colts. Now, all these moves swelled up together. This can make the Giants a very good contending team for years to come, and it can also put them over the hump as well. When you look at this New York Giants team from last season, they're very up and down, but a lot of people just expect for that to just be the first rebuilding year underneath Brian Dable. Almost no one had this team going to the playoffs, and let alone winning a playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings. But instead they did that. And Saquon Barkley had a career year, but Daniel Jones really took off last year. 15 passing touchdowns to 5 interceptions isn't much to look at. Those are just good numbers for a quarterback of his nature, in my opinion, but that's just him scratching the surface of what he can do in this system with Brian Dable. It's the rushing yards of Daniel Jones, 708 rushing yards to 7 rushing touchdowns, and we haven't seen him have this low of interceptions in his entire career. So this right here is a very good sign for the New York Giants moving forward. Now, they didn't exercise that 5th-year option, and that hurt this team a lot because it made you have to jump on board and give them a lot of money up front that you wouldn't have to if you exercise that 5th-year option. But it's also a flip side of that. If you exercise the 5th-year option and he still played better going into next year, this contract could be a little bit worse long term for the Giants when we talk about the money up front. I think it's a good deal for the Giants. Obviously, anytime you re-sign any type of player, it's a risk to it, let alone a guy that's only had one good year with the Giants, but that one good year came to the first system with Brian Dable. So hopefully Daniel Jones can get better. And speaking of him getting better, your franchise tag running back who played a very essential role with this team, Saquon Barkley had his best year on the field with the New York Giants, having 1,312 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. And the reason why I love them franchise tagging him and not giving him a 3 to 4 year extension, he's dealt with injuries in the past. He's dealt with ACL injuries and dealt with ankle injuries before. And usually running backs age faster than any other position in the NFL. So you're not giving out a lot of money to Saquon Barkley. It's just a 10-year prove it type of deal. You can go in next year and franchise tag him again if he does have a very good season next season. But with his injury history and the position that he plays, you don't want to put too much money into that position, even though Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs in football when he is healthy. He was able to stay healthy last year. Hopefully that carries over to next year as well. Getting Darren Waller from the Las Vegas Raiders is an excellent move for this team. Has dealt with injuries the last 2 years, but the last time he was healthy and played a full season, he broke over 1,000 yards. This is good value for the New York Giants. It's better than them going out there and overpaying for a wide receiver like a Juju Smith-Schuster or a Jacoby Myers. And I believe the New York Giants are having a little bit of deja vu right here when you try to go in and just try to go into free agency with a bold attack to go against some wide receivers. The last wide receiver they made a major splash with was Kenny Golladay, and that did not work out at all for this team. So going into the NFL draft and being able to just draft a guy that can be 1st or 2nd round for you, that can give you good value, that can work into the system on a cheaper rookie contract, and it helps the cap out long term. I believe the Giants doing the right thing here if they do draft a wide receiver in the 1st round. And you still have some good wide receiver talent in this team. Sterling Shepard, you gave him a 1-year deal when healthy, is a very good wide receiver. That's the problem with him. He just can't stay healthy. But he's a very good wide receiver when he is on the field. Tore that ACL in the first game against the Dallas Cowboys that Monday night, so you hope that he can keep things together and keep things under wraps. But he is a very good, solid player for this team and will work out very well with this team. And with you trading that 3rd round pick to the Las Vegas Raiders, is basically the 3rd round pick that you got back from trading Kadarius Toney to the Kansas City Chiefs. So you're basically trading Kadarius Toney for Darren Waller. I believe that Waller can stay in if he can stay healthy. A lot of these moves depends on the health of players, but those are boom or bust moves. But if Waller can stay healthy and just give you some production, that'll be better than what they were getting last season. Remember, the wide receivers last season weren't the best. The tight end Daniel Bellinger, I like him a lot, suffered an eye injury. He missed time. So they need to get some good wide receiver talent, but getting some explosive talent in Darren Waller is going to help out. And they need to get faster offensively. And getting Darren Waller's going to do that. They had a lot of plays that were going for short yardage because they didn't have the huge explosive yards out of the wide receivers. Darren Waller can open things up for this team. You can double cover him, but it will open up opportunities for other wide receivers as well, and was also open up the run game with Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones still being that read option system. On the defensive side of things, I like getting Bobby Okereke, linebacker from the Indianapolis Colts, is a huge tackle machine. It solves an immediate need for this team, and you don't have to go into the NFL draft and waste a pick on trying to get a linebacker that can stop the run. Jalen Smith wasn't that good last year for the New York Giants, and they had a major hole in the middle of this defense when it came against stopping the run and guarding tight ends. Bobby Okereke can do that. He's mostly a run stopper and very good when it comes to meeting running backs in the hole and blowing up run plays. That's something that you're going to have to do in this division that they're in. The Philadelphia Eagles love to run the football. You got to go there and stop the run. Dallas Cowboys, Tony Pollard and crew, got to stop the run. Even the Washington Commanders, as the season progressed, they wanted to run the football more with Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson Jr. So getting a linebacker that's a veteran on this type of deal is going to pay off tremendously with the New York Giants. They're making major moves here, and I like what they're doing. Some of them are under the radar, but the Giants can continue to build up with this coaching staff with Brian Dable, and Daniel Jones can continue to cut the turnovers and do what he does best on the field, and that's just work with his legs and deal out the ball to the open wide receiver. The New York Giants can be on to something. But let me know in the comment section below how you feel about the New York Giants. I believe next season this team will also still be a playoff team. New to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.